you're not muted, there's no one watching, that's fine. Just talk to whoever is there.
There's nobody there, that's the problem.
Wait, just now, so you break on so fast.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Jody, and welcome to my first series of the Lifelong Learning. Learning is one of my passions, and I thought I should try this out and share this with you in the new platform. As you notice, I'm extremely nervous now. I'm very uncomfortable in what I'm doing. My talent is actually connecting with people. I used to engage with many in classes or in small groups. I used to fly around the world and meet with entrepreneurs and to talk about what we can learn and what we have learned, and we learn from each other. But because of the situation, now we are forced to do this in this digital format. And I'm so not used to it. I felt that I'm now talking to myself, facing a camera, don't know what to do. So I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to try this out and to talk about changes and what comes to me about changes. When I think about this word, it's a very simple word, and yet it causes so much discomfort, and to the extent fear. The most common questions that I also hear nowadays is, when are we going back to normal again? And why do I have to change? To be honest, I don't like to change. I know change is uncomfortable, and to a certain extent, it does lead to uncertainty. But the reality is that one thing that never changes is changes itself. And so I really get to learn more about it. What is my relationship with change? If I come to think about it, how do I feel about change? I feel there is an element of excitement if I'm the one who initiates it, but there's also the element of anxiety. One thing that I definitely do not like is when I'm forced to change versus I'm the one who initiate the change, or I am the one who embraces the change. And I wonder, why is that? Maybe it's just simply about comfort, because change does push me out of the comfort zone. So let's look into what it takes to make me feel more comfortable. I think it's all about, in the mindset, is about how we actually embraces this change. The first thing we talk about is this growth versus fixed mindset. So in a fixed mindset, it's something that I have fixed. It's not going to change. It's there. And my attitude towards a fixed mindset is I've got to defend it and nothing is going to change. So that won't work, would it? However, if one were to embrace into a growth mindset, then something changes. In a growth mindset, it is about learning, having the desire to learn, having this thirst for learning. And so you fill your mind with curiosity. And in there's nothing to defend. It's just about absorbing anything that is new. So I thought if I had that mindset, I'm just like a sponge, absorbing anything that comes into it. Well, the second part is accepting the changes. Looks like the slide is not in order of what I'm doing right now, huh? But anyway, just bear with us. Accepting the changes. Seeing these changes is a part of our journey and just simply accept it rather than having to fight them, to battle them, because it's not a war. It's not a battle that you have to win. It is a journey that along the journey there are obstacles. When you see obstacles, then you've just tried to figure out how you're going to overcome it. It's not about getting bitten by your opponents, but it's about, there is something out there. I can try to figure it out how to overcome it and just enjoy along the process. Well, the third part of a growth mindset is about willing to be uncomfortable. So we are a creature of habits. And changing a habit, it's merely uncomfortable. Just try to imagine this. Sign your name on a piece of paper. If you pick up a pen, sign it. How do you feel about that? And then change hand. Use your other hand to sign your name. How do you feel about it? You feel merely uncomfortable, but what is wrong with your other hand? Nothing is wrong with that. So learning is about, you do need to get out of your comfort zone. And a part of learning is about unlearning some of the habits that no longer serves their purpose. So just be willing to be uncomfortable about it. And the fourth one is about value and appreciate the efforts that you put in. It's not about sacrificing, but it's just simply enjoy it. And then see the value and appreciate the efforts. Put a pat on the shoulder, on your own shoulder and say, hey, well done. I really do appreciate the efforts that I'm putting this to make a better me. So the next one is about learning from mistakes. I come from a school of hard knocks. So value the mistakes as a learning opportunity. Transform those experiences into meaningful lessons instead of dwelling into failures and guilt or shame. And the other one is about receiving constructive feedback. Take the feedback seriously, but not personally. Just simply look into all the feedback from anyone and pick the one that you think is valuable. And from there, work on it. So the second mindset we want to talk about is about this abundance versus scarcity mindset. In this, we're just talking about the energy. So where does the whole energy lies? It comes from a place of love versus fear. If you're having this love energy, it does fill you with more positive energy versus the fear. And seeing there's a limitless opportunity and possibility that you can create. With this limitless possibilities, there's no fear of not getting enough. and it thus brings optimism into the whole picture. That will fill you with this whole positiveness. The other mindset is having this learning mindset versus judging. So the Shoshin mindset, most of you have heard about, the Chinese character of the Chuxing, is the beginner's mindset. So as a beginner, it's about the curiosity versus that you have to be smart, you have to be intelligent. So focus on the learning. What is there for me to learn? Instead of focusing the energy in being right and not wanting to be wrong. The last mindset that I want to talk about is about the belief system. So I learned from Gandhi, and this quote he mentioned inspires me. It says, beliefs become thoughts, thoughts become words, words turn into actions, and action becomes habits, habits become values, and values become your destiny. So Gandhi quoted it. And so be very, very mindful of what you believe in, because it will eventually lead to your destiny. And so my question to you is, have you ever questioned about what you believe in? I'm not asking you to discard it, but just simply question your belief system, what you believe in. Is it still serving a purpose? Or are you just simply blindly following it? If you still blindly, if we all do that, blindly following, we still believe the earth is still flat. So for many, many years, we do actually believe the world is flat until someone challenged the idea. And it turned out to be, it is not. So those were the 4 that I've shared with you in terms of the mindset, having the growth mindset, believing in the abundance, having that learning mindset, and also look into and challenging your beliefs if it's still serving your purpose. So having these will help you to embrace changes. And with changes, it will transform you to be a better self. So that is all I would share with you in this series. And I'm committed to challenging myself, get myself out of this comfort zone, and to do this series on a regular basis. So next week, the same time, I'm going to talk about the power of listening. When I Google about learning, I see a lot of courses basically focus on presenting, how to speak, how to do public speaking, not a lot to talk about listening. We are born with a pair of ears and just one mouth. And how do we actually master that art of listening? And how is it important to turn that into our advantage? So I'll see you next week. Goodbye.